Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about the physical inventory orders. So I was being asked for the comparison between the physical inventory orders and the physical inventory journal, and people are asking what are the differences between these two. So actually, the physical inventory orders was released in 2019, the spring release of Business Central. So you can see if you want to check all the previous release, you can go to the help and go to coming soon. So it tells you all the upcoming Business Central release, and also it has all the previous historical release in the archived release plans. If you click on April the 2019, then you will see click on Dynamics 365 Business Central, what's new and planned. Then you can search from here. Actually, you don't need to search. You see it's very obvious. This one, the second one here listed is the physical inventory orders. So basically, it has a better structure. So what a better structure means is like you can have different counting teams do the inventory count at the same time. And if you are using the physical inventory journal, then you can only print out one sheet, and then everyone has to record their counting in a different sheet. Then you have to consolidate to that sheet manually. But with the physical inventory orders, the system can help you to do the consolidation. And like before this feature was released, then usually our customers, they will have some there's a handheld, the warehouse management system, barcode scanner. In the barcode scanner, then they are using some counting programs. So like you can have some apps installed there. Either you can use the InsightWorks, they have advanced count, inventory count, or the partner can develop some custom apps like a pre-count app for the client to be able to have multiple teams do the count at the same time, and then the data will be incorporated to the pre-count, and then the pre-count journal can be imported to the physical inventory journal to consolidate the pre-count altogether. Previously, you have to have an app or do some custom in order to do that, but from that release, then this is out of box. So what you can do to create a physical inventory orders, you can create a new order, and then let's say this is a year-end count. Let's give it a name. Then you can select different locations, which location you are doing the inventory count. So let's select the blue location for now. And you can also put a person responsible for the inventory count and the date you are doing the inventory count. Let's say this is a weekend, and let's just select the same date as this weekend. Okay, so then you can put this is the global dimensions you have. You can, if you want, you can add a global dimension, or you can just leave it. So after that, you can make a recording. What the recording does, like you can assign the inventory count tasks to different teams, and each team can have one or multiple recordings. Then you can make a new recording for each team. So a physical was now created because so before we make the recording, you have to populate the line first. So calculate the lines, and I don't want to count for everything because this is only a demonstration. So I'm only count for like from 1002 to 104, let's say. So, but for inventory count, you can just leave this to be blank, and it can populate all the lines. So I'm just going to only populate 3 lines for the demonstration purpose. So that's it. This is everything you want to do the inventory count. After you populate the line, then you make the recording. So now we can just change this item number to 004. Okay, so this is the recording like we want to make, and so it tells me I have a recording created. So we can go to the related order, and then we can check the recordings which registered there. So this is the recording, but you can see the status is still open, which means haven't finished yet. So let's say if you did a count and then you found this is the number you count. Let's just put 1000 for everything, okay? And so after I enter the quantity, then this recorded checkbox is automatically checked. And also another thing about this physical inventory recording and the physical inventory order is like on the recording, you can just select a lot number from the recording itself. You do not need to be like in the physical inventory journal. You have to go to the item tracking line, then you can select the lot. So for here, if you are using lot tracking or serial number tracking, then you can just enter the lot number or serial number on the line directly. Okay, so let's just say this is the test 1, 2, 3. This is a lot number, let's say. Okay, so yeah, so you can enter the lot number directly on the line. You don't need to drill into item tracking line and then drill into the lot number to get a lot number like physical inventory journal. So let's just leave this lot number, serial number to be blank. So you could see like if you have the lot number, serial number tracked, then you need to have this use item tracking selected. But I wasn't using the item tracking for all those 3 items. I'll just leave it blank. So this is one of the recording. As I said, you can have multiple teams do the recording at the same time. Let's make a new recording. Let's say the other team only doing the count for this 1002. So you want to create a new recording for that team. And so from this, you can see 1002 is counted in this recording, in the first recording one, right? And also it's counted in the second recording. So you can, even for the same item, you can have different team count for the same items. But you know, in the warehouse, you may have the same item stored in different areas in the warehouse. So it makes sense, like even for the same items, you may have multiple teams to count for the same item. So that's why for the second recording, I'm counting the 1002 again. And let's say for the second recording, I counted 10,000 for this item and enter the quantity here. Okay, so after the teams, all those teams, they finish their counting, then we can just mark this recording to finished. Okay, so you can see the status has been changed from open to finished for this recording too. Then let's do it for this first recording as well. Then let's say this team finished the recording as well. It status changed to finished. Once the status changed to finish, if you go back, you see the quantity recorded base on the physical inventory order line. So this has been updated. So it's consolidated all the all the recordings together, because if you remember, for the 2 recordings, I have one recording recorded 10,000 for this item 1002, another recording recorded 1,000 for the item 1002. So it consolidated them. And the 103 and 104, those are only on the first recording. So you only take that number 1,000 from that first recording. The second recording did not do the count for these 2 items. So this is good. And you can also see the number finished the recording lines. So the first item 102 has 2 recordings recorded quantity, so it shows 2. But the second item and third item only have 1 recording recorded those items, so it only shows the number finished recording lines 1. Okay. And after you did this, in order to change the status to finish, you can, if you say change status to finish, it will not allow you to do that. It says the quantity expected calculate must be equal to yes. So you still have to populate, you see, the quantity expected. This is what the system has, right? So similar like the physical inventory journal, you have to populate you calculate the inventory. When you calculate the inventory, then it will populate the system calculated quantity, and then you record the quantity you counted. So this is the same. The quantity expected is what you have in the system. So you still have to populate this, and the system will populate the positive or negative adjustment if these two numbers, quantity expected and quantity required, does not match. Okay, so then the next thing we have to do, we have to calculate the quantity expected. So we have to go to actions, functions, then click on calculate quantity expected. So I want to calculate for all order lines, for all this physical inventory order lines. So then you can see the quantity is calculated. There's a big difference, right? So between the quantity expected and quantity required, there's a big difference. But when you click on finish, then it will just let's click on finish again. Finish this order. So it's posted. So it's when we change the status for this physical inventory order from open to finished, then it will automatically calculate the positive or negative adjustment you need to do, because that's the difference between your quantity expected and the quantity required. You can see this is the difference. And after you update the status for the physical inventory order, and the next step is you can post this physical inventory order. If you click on post, and then it will post item ledger entries for those positive and negative adjustment. Now you can go to the posted physical inventory orders to find what you have posted. So if you go to the posted inventory orders, then you can see this is the positive and negative adjustment you posted. Then you can navigate to the ledger entries to see what has been posted to the ledger entries. Like for the item ledger entries, you can see it's posting these adjustment for those items, positive and negative adjustment for those items. At the same time, it creates value entries, GL entries, and then it creates a physical inventory ledger entries. So this is something different. When you post a physical inventory journal, it does not have this physical inventory ledger entry. This is specific for the physical inventory orders. Only for the physical inventory orders, it generates the physical inventory ledger entry, because if you notice in the physical inventory order line, it's a different table. It's a physical inventory order line table. It does not use the item journal line table, but physical inventory journal used item journal line table. Yeah, so that's also another difference. Okay, thank you so much for watching this YouTube video. I hope this helps. I'll see you guys again next time.